Welcome to the Joy Meets Pain podcast. I'm your host, Dorcas. As a psychotherapist who has worked with children, couples, individuals, and families for decades, I cannot tell you how many times I've heard people say, "My family is the worst," or "I'm too embarrassed to talk about my family," or "No family is like mine." Well, guess what, listeners? All families have ishness, foolishness, happiness, shadiness, loneliness, forgiveness, hopefulness, goodness, and the list goes on. If you come from a family and are trying to navigate your family relationships, then welcome. When I initially started the podcast, I wanted to focus on family, therapy, and food, so some of my episodes were centered around these three topics. Since then, I have dived into more family issues, as you will see and hear in upcoming episodes. Please keep in mind, I am not providing therapy or medical advice. And here's a heads up. Once in a while, I will curse. So if you're looking for a clean, no foul language kind of show, this is not it. Black History Month has been officially recognized in the US since 1976 and is now also celebrated in Canada and the United Kingdom. In this 10th episode of Joy Meets Pain, in honor of Black History Month, I'm highlighting extraordinary Black individuals in the US and beyond, people making an impact or whose words or actions captured my attention this month. Let's begin with an historic event that set the tone for Black History Month in a powerful and unforgettable way. Kendrick Lamar's 2025 Super Bowl halftime performance. Two esteemed mental health experts, Dr. Linda J. M. Holloway, an associate professor of counselor education at Alabama State University, and Dr. April T. Berry, a psychologist for the U.S. Department of Defense, took the initiative to develop an abridged curriculum exploring the cultural implications of Kendrick's performance. If you're interested in gaining a broader understanding of the Black experience as performed in the show, I'll upload their curriculum to my website, joymeetspain.com. I would like to highlight two key references that they made in their curriculum. One of them touched on musician and social activist Nina Simone's assertion that it was an artist's duty to reflect the times, especially during crucial times, and I would say like the times we're in now, when everything is about survival. This is precisely what Kendrick's performance did. The second reference I want to discuss, also from their curriculum, was regarding author Toni Morrison's declaration that Black people were always under the white gaze, or censorship, we should call it what it is, which was the role that Samuel L. Jackson played in the Super Bowl performance. Music is undoubtedly food for the soul. However, like all other forms of art, it should inspire us to do better, be better, and think critically about the world. Black History Month is about giving credit to those who are positively shaping the culture and the world. I draw inspiration from Black women across the globe and take every opportunity to honor them. While doing my research for this episode, I came across the remarkable story of Sibongile Sambo. The name Sibongile, by the way, is a beautiful Zulu name meaning thankful, joyful, grateful, depending on the source that you look up. Right, so as the founder and managing director of SRS Aviation, she made history over 20 years ago by opening South Africa's first Black female-owned aviation company. Initially, Sibongile had applied for a flight attendant position with South African Airways, but was turned down for not meeting the height requirement. Undeterred, she carved out her own path and built a thriving business in an industry that had long excluded women like her. When one door closed, she created another one. Another African innovator that I'd like to acknowledge is Ethiopian entrepreneur Bethlehem Tilahun Alemu. At a 2016 United Nations Leaders Summit, Bethlehem talked about growing up in her village in Addis Ababa, wondering, and I quote, why people are working 24/7 without having results. Seeing the need for sustainable employment in a community filled with artisan talent, she founded Soul Rebels in 2004, which is an eco-friendly footwear brand that has since created hundreds of local jobs. Today, Soul Rebels is one of Africa's largest footwear companies, with stores in Taiwan, Spain, Switzerland, Austria, the US, Singapore, and Japan. The company stands out not only for its global success, but also for its commitment to fair wages, reportedly paying employees 4 to 5 times the legal minimum wage and over 3 times the industry average. This is an impressive example of how businesses can thrive while prioritizing people and the planet. It does not have to be one or the other. And I think some of our big companies can take maybe a page from her book. All right, so this next Black history, or her story, I should say, on the surface differs from Sibongile's and Bethlehem's missions. However, it is equally encouraging and urges us to reflect on our own purpose and motivations. For those who are ahead of the reading curve, forgive my delayed discovery of this 2022 book in 2025. Tricia Hersey, who calls herself the NAP Bishop, published Rest is Resistance, a manifesto, a persuasive exploration of rest as a form of resistance. She frames rest as a direct challenge to capitalism, particularly given the historical reality that Black people were forced to work grueling hours under brutal conditions, often feeling guilty for taking time to rest. This is something I do see in many Black women, myself included, feeling guilty for taking time to rest. All right, so recognizing this, Hersey became a fierce advocate for reclaiming rest. In a 2023 WGN News interview about her book, she stated, "I come from a legacy of exhaustion, but also from a legacy of people reclaiming their bodies and their time." She pointed out how social media is leading us down the path of more exhaustion. I am sure I have rubbed this in significantly, I should say, in many of my previous episodes. All right, so Hersey emphasizes that rest isn't just about sleep. It includes simple restorative activities like taking a walk, daydreaming, or anything that allows the mind and body to slow down and reconnect. You can learn more about her mission on her website, thenapministry.com. In my 6th episode on 2024, the highs, the lows, the lessons, I talked briefly about my love of tennis as a former tennis player. It's therefore no surprise that I wanted to celebrate a Black tennis player for Black History Month. Naomi Osaka ranks high on my list of celebrities who are passionate about social justice and outspoken about mental health issues. Born to a Japanese mother and a Haitian father, she identifies as Black, something that we can't always assume without confirming. She affirmed her identity as a Black woman in a September 2023 Britannica article as follows: "Before I am an athlete, I am a Black woman." This month, she did a CNN Sport interview and shared the following about her personal growth. "What I've learned about myself is that I'm impatiently impatient." Nope, I said that wrong. "What I've learned about myself is that I'm patiently impatient. Becoming a mom, I've learned to become a lot more patient and sort of understand that I can't control everything, but I can only do my best in certain situations and hope that the outcome is positive, but if not, then there's always another day." What beautiful words. I can only do my best. I can only hope for a positive outcome, and there's always another day to do better. I added the "to do better" part because I do believe that's what we should be striving for, is to do better every day. Thank you, Naomi, for these poignant words that would serve well as a daily affirmation on self-compassion. I can only do my best. I can only hope for a positive outcome, and there's always another day to do better. All right, so one thing I have not shared since starting the podcast is my belief in giving flowers. This is the practice of telling people now, today, that you see them, you appreciate them, rather than waiting until it's too late. Today, I am giving flowers to a close and longtime friend, Mr. Mike Jones. Nope, not the rapper, but the amazing father of 5 who has dedicated his work to making a difference for marginalized communities in the city of Cleveland and the state of Ohio. He works days and night on the streets of Cleveland, tackling issues such as homelessness, poverty, voting rights. He established his nonprofit Breaking the Cycle in 2008 to assist veterans, ex-prisoners, and other citizens in need to find employment and to live as productively as possible. This month, the Northeast Ohio Black Health Coalition took note of his hard work and awarded him with the Men of Courage Award. Congrats, Big Mike. You are truly an inspiration, and it is an honor to call you my friend. So I'd like to end the episode on a positive note. This story gave me the good feels. On February 15th, 24-year-old Illinois native Terrence Shannon Jr., an NBA player from the Minnesota Timberwolves, was set to have his Illinois jersey retired during a halftime ceremony at the State Farm Center. However, the moment took an unexpected turn when the jersey was mistakenly hung upside down. Instead of letting this mishap overshadow the occasion, Terrence turned it into an opportunity for good. He started selling t-shirts with the message, "When life has you upside down, turn it around," with proceeds benefiting the Don Moyer Boys and Girls Club in Champaign, Illinois. Thank you, Terrence, for handling things like a pro and turning a mistake into a meaningful act of generosity. In closing, In today's episode, I shared a mix of events, most from this month, that spotlighted Black people doing and being great all over the world. Black people will continue to make history, whether under the white gaze or censorship or apartheid or colonization or gentrification. Some people do not need the spotlight to do great work that benefits others. What do all my honorees have in common? They all found a way to solve a problem and to create an opportunity where there was none. Whether you're playing on a tennis court or sitting in a boardroom or walking the cold streets of Cleveland to fight homelessness, you do it better and faster with a community behind you. Audience, who are you rooting for? Who are you giving flowers to? Who is your inspiration? Or better yet, who are you inspiring? I hope you found this episode informative and engaging. If you found it meaningful in some way and have comments to share, or you would like to share your family story, whether joyful or painful, please send an email to info@joymeetspain.com. Thank you for tuning in and for allowing me to spend this part of your day with you. Please like, rate, and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. And of course, please spread the word. Till next time, stay well and stay present.